From calling her coworkers monkeys, going to prison, and mocking British royalty, let's get into Blake Lively's most embarrassing moments. First up, Blake Lively went to prison. Let me elaborate. She went to Disney prison. If you didn't know that existed, well, now you do. On The Late Show with David Letterman, Lively made a bombshell revelation from one of her visits to Disneyland as a kid. The actress revealed that her mother, Elaine Lively, used to take her to Disneyland like twice a week after school. She shared that during one of her visits, her and her brother tried a little trick that got them banned. She said, you get a stamp when you leave the park, and if you spray like hairspray on it, you can actually transfer it to someone else's hand. So in the parking lot, he went up to somebody and said, hey, can we spray hairspray on your hand and transfer it? Then we go through and they say, excuse me, can you come with me? And I'm like 6 years old, and my brother says, no matter what they say, do not confess. I will not admit that we did this. So, he was a professional felon. That's what she said. Now, this little trick got her in trouble, leaving, Blake Lively to visit Disney's prison. And not just that, the actress was even banned from visiting Disneyland for like a year. She then continued to explain, saying, so we go downstairs in Disneyland, it's all white rooms, everyone is dressed in all white, the furniture is all white, and they just interrogated us. It was really scary and traumatizing. It's interesting because they spend billions and billions of dollars building a wonderland for kids, and then they're stunned and surprised that kids would want to sneak in. So as we see, she learned to lie at a very early age, so that's interesting. Next, we have the most awkward and embarrassing interview like ever. Norwegian journalist Kirsty Flaw uploaded to YouTube an interview she had done with Lively and actor Parker Posey while they were promoting their film Cafe Society. The video is titled The Blake Lively Interview That Made Me Want to Quit My Job and has gained like over 6 million views. The clip actually begins with the journalist telling Lively, who was pregnant at the time, congrats on your little bump. Lively then replies back with the same, congrats on your little bump. When Flaw asks the actress about, their wardrobes in the film, Lively says to Parker, everyone wants to talk about the clothes, but I wonder if they would ask the men about the clothes. Flaw then replies, I would. Lively continues to carry on the conversation with her co-star about the men's clothing in the movie, and at the end of the interview, Posey appears to roll her eyes at Flaw. In her caption, Flaw offered the following reflection, saying, is it not okay to congratulate someone on their pregnancy or to ask another woman about costume she is wearing in a film? The interview generated a lot of buzz in the comment section, with YouTube users calling Lively's behavior rude and just passive aggressive. Now, the chatter carried over to other social media platforms as well, and while some people criticized Lively for her, responses, others defended Lively for being subjected to questions about her pregnancy and appearance. Flaw would later reveal just how hurtful, Blake's response was to her, because she can't, in fact, actually conceive children of her own. She said, her comment left me almost paralyzed. To be honest, it hurts because I obviously wasn't pregnant and I could never get pregnant. So to me, that comment was like a bullet. I don't know how to react. I felt very uncomfortable throughout the interview, and all I wanted to do was leave and get out of there as fast as I could, basically. She continued to say, I felt belittled and ignored, and it made me question if I ever wanted to do these types of interviews again. Amidst all the recent drama and lawsuits going on with Blake, the video has again resurfaced, and people are calling Blake, like the ultimate mean girl and just nasty for the way that she conducted herself. One person said, this is a classic high school bullying method, acting like you totally click with your bestie right in front of the third wheel to make them feel as excluded and ostracized, and rejected as possible. With another person adding, if these two women can do this to a professional reporter in front of a camera that is filming them, imagine how they treat other professional staff and just ordinary people without cameras. Next up, hey, remember when Blake and Ryan got married on a plantation? Well, Blake Lively also admitted to doing blackface. A resurfaced MTV interview from 2006 with the cast from the movie Accepted shows a pre-nose job Blake openly admitting to doing blackface. Blake Lively and Justin Long were talking about, anecdotes that made them geeky in high school. Blake goes on, actually, she literally just cuts Justin off so she can urgently tell this very embarrassing racist story. And basically it admitted that she wore a lot of bronzer and wore an afro to stalk and impress her high school crushes. She said, "My best friend and I, when we were like in 10th grade, had like crazy crushes. We drive around like stalking these guys. We decided one night to go to the arcade where they were, and I put bronzer all over myself and like a Scary Spice afro so they would think I was like a black girl so I could stalk them, and my friend dressed up as this goth girl, and we literally sat outside their houses." Justin Long then says, "So that makes you sweet and charming. You're still hot." Of course, now that this clip has, been brought back from the grave, social media is in a frenzy. One person on X said, "How does bronzing your skin, to look black as well as putting on an afro wig constitute geek?" With another person saying, "So you just did blackface and thought it was cute." Blake has not commented on this, of course, but she and Ryan did previously apologize for having their wedding at Boone Hall, the former plantation in South Carolina. All right. Next up, Blake Lively mocked the Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton's health. After Kate went public with her cancer diagnosis, Blake Lively did apologize basically for her beverage line's recent ad that poked fun at the Photoshop drama involving Kate. Back when it happened, Blake Lively posted to Instagram announcing new flavors for her Betty Buzz and Betty Booze beverages. Now, the carousel showed, 7 images of the new products, but the first is very obviously heavily edited and seemingly, alluded to the Princess of Wales photo editing controversy. Now, in the ad, Lively is basically seated poolside in the first image, but several things appear to be manipulated. The pool and the chair she's sitting in are completely warped, her hands are from 2 different people, her body appears unnaturally positioned, and lemons and drink cans are like plopped randomly throughout the scene. This obvious editing in Lively's photo is by design rather than mistake, unlike in Kate's Mother's Day photo. Now, amid photo agency, retractions and questions about the royals, whereabouts post-abdominal surgery, Kensington Palace released an apology from the princess in which she wrote, "Like many amateur photographers, I do occasionally experiment with editing." Lively's post has since, of course, been deleted, and she then shared a statement to Instagram saying, "I made a silly post around the Photoshop fail frenzy, and oh man, that post has me mortified today. I'm sorry, sending love and well wishes to all, always." Now, despite apologizing, people were still left with a very bad taste in their mouths, and her comment section was filled with people criticizing her. One person wrote very, disappointed, saying, "I never would have thought Blake would go low like this. Talk about women empowerment. Such a shame to see this." With another person saying, "Nothing like kicking another woman when she's down." Blake Lively is actually horrible in interviews and press tours, but this one Resurfaced clip has her even further under fire after she made cruel and very inappropriate jokes about her Gossip Girl co-stars, and in particular Leighton Meester. Now, in the video that, was taken from an undated, panel discussion, the actress makes a remark about, Leighton being born in prison. While sitting next to her, Blake declares, "Well, some of us started in a cage." As she literally delivers, this savage joke, she waves her hand in Leighton's direction. Now, after her quip falls to, amuse the audience, Blake adds, "Come on, it was a joke." Leighton was born, while her mother, Constance, was incarcerated and was raised up by her grandmother until she was released in 1995. Constance was actually convicted in 1985 on contraband trade charges and served 10 years in a Texas state prison for her involvement in a smuggling ring that brought large quantities of that green stuff to the US from Jamaica. Now, you'd think she would be quiet after that comment, right? Nope, she doubles down and says another promise was no pet monkey. Lively was referring to Westwick's character Chuck Bass, who in the book has a pet monkey. She said Chuck has a pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be a part of, this show, but I can't act with a monkey. Laughing, she then turned, quickly over and gestured to her left where her co-stars were sitting, and then she said, "Well, I got a few of them." The remark, earned immediate laughter from the audience, and Lively insisted she was just joking. Meester, who was dressed in a bright yellow dress, looked unamused by the jab again as she kind of scrunched her face at Lively, and other Gossip Girl co-stars Chase Crawford and Penn Badgley failed to crack a smile as well, and instead they looked down at the stage floor, again with Blake saying, "Come on, it was a joke." So is everything a joke to this woman? I guess so, when, it's at the expense expense of other people. She also made another jab at Layton saying, everyone knows blondes are nicer. Well, joke is on Blake this time because Layton is a natural blonde and only dyed her hair to play the role of Blair. Now, please believe me when I tell you there's much, much more. She has undoubtedly been destroying her own reputation for years. It's just only now that everything is getting, brought back into the spotlight. But what do you guys think about Blake Lively? Let me know your thoughts. I'm your host, Ashley. It's been great catching up.